Well, hello and welcome to another video. Subject for this one is this Corgi Toys Datsun 240Z, the Whiz Wheels model. These cars were made between 1972 and 1976 and given the Corgi designation 394. It's a replica of a winning car from the 19th Safari Rally in 1971. Nice little car, got a few little features: openable front doors, metal front and rear bumpers, and the front bumpers feature these 4 spotlights. Would have originally had the glass insert into the headlights as well. We'll be replacing those a bit later on in the video. And while you're watching this go around, I'd like to thank any returning subscribers, any new subscribers, or first time viewers. Thank you very much for coming and watching what I'm getting up to. I do appreciate any input that you might have. I try to read all the comments and reply to as many of them as I can. As you can see, we've got it on the table now. I've already drilled the base. I'm going to pop it apart and see what we've got. You may notice while we're doing this that there are 1 or 2 very bright and new looking stickers on the vehicle. I printed off a nice set and I was kind of test fitting them and seeing what I thought about them, see whether I'd got the sizing and the colouring right. Well, here's the base. Got the standard suspension. It's in pretty nice nick. And lifting off the bumpers here, solid metal as I said in the description. Then I won't be painting them, they will polish up very nicely. Out with the one-piece interior. Really nice, featuring the spare wheel and a couple of bucket seats. I'm not going to be overpainting this one. I'm going to largely stick to the original format, although I'm feel inclined to do a bit of detail work on the base plate, since it features a nice kind of gearbox and exhaust and stuff. Steering wheel's missing. I will be replacing that one. I've got one out of a Toyota Celica James Bond car that's got so many parts missing it's really not worth bothering with. So we'll be up for a new silver steering wheel in this case. So just the dashboard to clip out now, which I think benefits from the opening of the doors. Unusually, I'll not be taking the doors off either. I've seen quite a few people leave the doors on. I've had mixed results with it myself, but in this particular case I was kind of willing to give it a try and see how I could get on with it, because it can be a bugger to get the doors off, and I don't really want to damage the paint trying to put it all back together again. So it's a test run. I'll just leaving the dashboard out now. Still trying to decide what's the best method to pop the screen out without doing any further damage. It's already got a big crack across the back there. And here she comes. As you can see, there's a bit of a split in the back there. I didn't have time to order a new one from Flowers or anything like that. So the compromise I come up with is I put some dark tape across it in the style of the louvered windows that you would see in early 70 cars such as this. And it's not an ideal solution, but it looks reasonable when it's all done. I've since got another car for spares, and I think at some point I'll probably take it apart and replace the screen. Just to make it look a little bit nicer. As you can see, 1 or 2 of the stickers that I told you I was experimenting with while I'm taking the car apart. Just unclipping the tail lights now, which when I come to put the car back together later on, put up a hell of a fight, most of which I've edited out because it's just embarrassing. They just kept on falling out. Out the caustic soda, and we've given her a polish up. Bodywork's not too bad considering the age of the car. It's been well loved and played with, but not much file work to do on there really, mainly just a polish. Same thing with the base, so it came up pretty nice. As I say, there's exhaust and gearbox and what have you. I'll do a bit of detailing on those. I just couldn't resist it. Although I tried to leave the rest of the car alone as much as possible. Cockpit's been in the ultrasonic bath. Hasn't come out too badly. There's a dashboard to follow, I think. Oh, there's the screen. Still a bit yellowy, even though I've given it a bit of a polish up. I might revisit that and try and do something with it. I was quite pleased with the way the bumpers came up. I certainly shan't bother painting them. They polished up very, very nicely indeed. And the last bit's the dashboard. And the wheels. The wheels are particularly scruffy on this. Again, I will be replacing them with the spares from the car that I've ordered when it turns up. So we've given it a coat of primer for the base and the body. This is an auto-borne sealer primer rather than the aerosol type that I quite often use. Thought I'd give it a burst, see how well it gets on with the Tamiya red that I plan to use on the main body. Just a finishing coat on the top of the car now. Auto-borne's going on really well. You can flash dry this one with a heat gun and then just move on to your next coat, which is the main advantage. I was very late with this and I needed to expedite matters as quickly as I could, and I still ended up releasing the video 2 days later than I intended anyway. So on to the top coat, just get the underneath done first. It's a straight Tamiya red. I looked at it against the car at the time when I bought it, and it was pretty much a reasonable match. Just giving it a good coat on the underneath, because obviously it's got opening doors. You can see some of the interior when you open the doors, so make sure the inside's got a nice coat everywhere that shows. And this is my first kind of attempt at painting the car, leaving the doors on, so this was a learning curve for me as well. I was very aware that the open doors were going to mask certain parts of the car body, but by the same token I didn't want to go in too hard trying to get it into the gaps and end up with runs. But I was satisfied with it all in the end, and just the top coating to do now. Not a very elaborate paint job on this one, thankfully. No masking and one thing or another. Goes on nice and flat, and I will give it a clear coat at the end of it all, just to put a nice shine on it. Tamiya paint dries out pretty well, and my plan is to clear coat it by the end of the day. So just building it up in nice light even coats. For the benefit of those that are interested, I'm spraying at 40 psi, which is the pressure I tend to apply most of my things with. Hasn't let me down yet. I know some people tend to go a little bit lighter, but you have to stick with what you're used to. I know exactly how my gun and my paints are going to behave at this pressure. And there we go. I think that's a reasonably good cover. So let's move on to the next stage. Well, as mentioned, I couldn't resist putting some detailing on the underneath of the car. And this is had a clear coat on. I think it's come out reasonably well. Just going to fight the good fight now, popping the wheels back underneath the suspension arms. Usually at this point I'll twist and break a fingernail or do something outrageous, but I got away with it on this occasion. As you're probably well aware, it's just a question of springing them underneath the suspension mounts and into the slots. We've got a roller and we're in business. I commenced the reassembly with the tricky little taillight arrangement that kept on fighting me. You look just beyond the tips of my fingers there, you can see a little bit of the kind of taped in louver effect that I created for the windscreen to get over the crack in it while I wait for the spares car to arrive. I've tapped and dyed this one with 2mm socket caps because I was very aware all along that I was going to end up having to take it apart to put the replacement bits in, so it's a finished job in the cabinet. One of the polished up chrome bumpers. If at first you don't succeed, turn it over and try again. At this stage, I've picked those tail lights up and put them in again so many times, I'm almost frightened to touch it. Well, there we go. Just looking for the headlamp cluster now, with the spotlights on. Just make sure I've got it all lined up, clipped together. Yeah, happy enough with that. Just a question of fiddling this socket cap screw into place now. I must get myself a little set of socket drivers. I find the Allen key a little bit fiddly. Just dropping another one of the stickers on now. I didn't in the end use the layout that you can see in this shot on the bonnet. I just didn't like it, so I changed it to the car number off camera and put a couple of Dunlop sponsor stickers on there. I just couldn't settle with the odd size of it. Didn't like it, didn't like the way it lay on the bonnet. So last two now on the car body, the Seiko sponsor stickers. And here she is, all finished. Nice new fresh coat of paint. So had the interior in the ultrasound for a big clean up. New set of decals, digitally enhanced for me by Mr. Hanky 666. Set of number plates. Little bit of highlighting and detailing on the underneath. Disappointingly, the wheels didn't turn up in time for the video, but I'll replace them at a later date. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Hope you'll consider liking and subscribing if you don't already. Do leave a comment. I'll be happy to read them all. I try to reply to as many as I can. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much and goodbye.